Merry Christmas. Now, I was talking to little Grady, Joe, and he was wondering, what's the story of this song, the Peninsula Players Anthem? Can you share that with him? Look how intent he is.
He's very intense. I didn't know we were doing characters, though. Oh, I'm sorry, is that a character?
Just talk.
We heard this great new song, the Love and Be Loved song,
Ah, yes.
which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded us about the whole story of the Peninsula Players theme song, it's called, which is, you gotta go back 14 years ago. It was a very different world back then.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't even, well, you might have been, we don't actually know how old he is. He's pretty old.
Phones were smaller.
Yep. People were younger in general. And so we were doing Noises Off at Peninsula Players, and it was the first year in the new theater, which was a big deal for me. It was very, very, I mean, for everybody, it was a big deal. And, but at the same time, I had been accepted to Yale and was moving from Chicago. So I was packing up the house and putting things in boxes and arranging for an apartment in New Haven and all of this. And I got an email saying what my Christmas in July task was, because I was coming up for the weekend. And so I actually told Maggie, I said, yeah, I have this in writing. I looked it up because I wanted evidence. And I said, yeah, I got the task to write the theme song for Christmas in July on Friday. And Christmas in July was that Sunday. So I drove up that night, and I think I was doing a show in Chicago or Indiana as well. So there was a lot going on. On Saturday, I got to Peninsula Players, and I wrote a theme song for Christmas in July. It was really fun. It had a lot to do with Santa Claus in a bikini. And I was like, oh, Santa.
Wrong.
And I think I also had to wear a turtle outfit that day as a different challenge for Christmas, and received a turtle backpack. So it was really fun. The next morning I got up and I thought, well, I did the song. Let me just check and make sure I checked all the boxes on the challenge. And I looked at the challenge, and it didn't say theme song for Christmas in July. It said theme song for Peninsula Players. So Sunday morning, I laid in bed, made it up in my head, went and figured it out on the piano to make sure. Part of the task was to audition it for Tom Mueller, because you weren't allowed to perform things, and then perform it that night with his permission. So I had to go into the lodge.
Mueller had to vet it.
Mueller had to vet it. And so I went in the afternoon. So I wrote it at, I don't know, 11 a.m., noon. At 2 o'clock, I'm performing it for Tom. That night I performed it at the lodge. I sang the song.
What did Tom do when you performed it for him?
He got kind of emotional. I was super nervous because I did not want to sing or play that particular piano at all. It was a wreck. I had to change the key of the song because it wouldn't work.
Like halfway through.
Yeah, I did. Yep, because so many of the keys didn't work. Tom was very emotional. He's like, "Wait, I can't believe you wrote that, like just like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, this morning." And he was like, "What do you mean this morning?" So it was pretty funny. And then we did it that night, and I'm singing it, and I'm terrified. And Maggie starts singing on the chorus.
I was so worried because he was like he's all sweating and trembling.
Really
I of course am in the front row, like, his mother with the camcorder.
Yeah.
And he was like, so I helped out, and his head like swings
Swung over
around.
like, "Wah!" And she interpreted, we just found this out when we were talking about it 14 years later. She thought I was like, "What the hell, shut up, you're ruining my thing." And what I was actually thinking was, if you knew the song, why didn't you sing it? Why am I singing? That was my reaction, yeah. And people in the audience started crying, and Greg was a complete mess, and it was very fun.
Yeah,
I
like
guess a lot of people were crying.
family, emotional, holiday, weep fest kind of a way. Yeah.
Yep. So then I wrote it out and donated it to Peninsula Players. And should we sing this song, or you want to talk more? This is the Peninsula Players theme song.
In the trees along the shoreline,